Hello there. How's it going? Welcome to Breakfast All Day. It's a very special day because the Oscars are coming. I'm Christy. It's Alonso. That's Matt. It's Hollywood's biggest night, but we're all just going to be sitting on our couches watching people on Zoom.
And lucky
How's it going?
everybody at
No,
home,
no,
we
no,
have
no,
our
no.
own.
They're doing it in person. I know.
Not Zoom.
I
We're
know.
on Zoom.
Unlike those crappy Golden Globes.
That's right. None of this.
And-
None of this Emmy nonsense. We're doing it up.
Oh, that was a news thing we didn't talk about. Was that fucking letter from the Golden Globes guy?
Oh,
Oh,
the Philip
about
Burke
that.
saga never ends.
oh my God. More like Philip Jerk.
But this is a real award show.
Yes.
These are the Oscars. They have standards, you guys. So as we mentioned
Let's just
during the news segment, the Spirit Awards were last night, and Nomadland won what they call best feature, and Chloe Zhao won best director.
And editor.
Yes. Do we think that's going to happen again on Oscar night? What's going to win best picture? Let me mention the nominees real fast: Sound of Metal, Mank, Minari, Promising Young Woman, The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, The Trial of the Chicago 7, and Nomadland.
This has been such a weird year, and I really wonder if in the future people are going to think about this as being the Oscars with an asterisk, just because of all the movies that were supposed to come out in 2020 that then got moved forward. So we're not sitting here talking about In the Heights or West Side Story or, like a handful of other movies like that. And I don't know if that will somehow taint this year in retrospect or not, but
I've seen a little bit of that chatter already.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I would say though, I mean, I am a terrible prognosticator, and I have not been steeped in this or really paying that much attention. But I think Nomadland is at least the movie to beat this year.
Matt.
Yeah, I believe so. I think that's probably the film. I mean, I wouldn't be terribly surprised to see Mank win because it's,
About Hollywood.
Yeah. And that always makes a difference. In its own quiet way, though, Nomadland at least looks like an epic. It looks like a big sweeping epic on a big screen. But it's hard to tell because so many of the movies, all the screenings would have been done at home.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so it's hard to not just the change in, that it's not that doesn't happen anyway, right? Because people get screeners and they watch them, but there's
circumstantially,
right. But it's a little bit tough to say like, oh boy, this is the reason we go to the theaters this year, because we couldn't. It's weird. I have no idea towards any of these this year, and I'd say probably Nomadland just because it's got the momentum.
Yeah, and empirically, Mank and The Trial of the Chicago 7 seem like more traditional Best Picture winners, right? I mean, Matt, as you say, Mank is total love letter to Hollywood. It is meticulously an homage to what is considered the best movie ever. So there is that, and technically, it's beautiful. The lighting, and the production design, the costumes, and Amanda Seyfried's great, and for a long time was considered the front runner for supporting actress, and that's probably not going to happen. And The Trial of Chicago 7 just has, it's got big star power. It's got, I think, politically a lot of the inclinations of a lot of the voters, and is the kind of movie that in the past has won for that reason. But Nomadland has momentum and is very deserving in and of itself. But I feel like it also, at this moment in time, taps into a need for interconnectedness in a way that maybe it wouldn't have in other years, in normal years, in a year where we're all so isolated. Frances McDormand's, solitary journey and the way she connects with other people, I think there's a longing in that, and there's a connection for the viewer in that, and it's beautiful. And we should not in any way underestimate the fact that, an Asian woman's going to win Best Director, and that's amazing, and that's never happened before. And this is also the first year we've had two women in the Best Director category between her and Emerald Fennell.
Yeah, no, if she wins, that would be great. That'd be very exciting.
I do want to bring up there is that still that because I don't think they actually went through with the rule that said that if you hadn't made a movie in a certain amount of time, you don't get to vote anymore. I think they had only discussed that. And there's probably a quarter at least of the voting body that knew everybody portrayed in Mank personally.
Huh.
So
well, look, this is an organization that gave it to Parasite last year, which I think a lot of people did not see coming. So I mean, yeah, I think we're in the market for some surprises, maybe, or at least some surprises based on the old patterns of voting. One of the problems with the old, or one of not the problems, but one of the old patterns of voting, however, does suggest that Mank has a very big problem in that it wasn't nominated for Best Director. And it's not unprecedented. I think
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Fincher's up there. Sorkin's not in there.
Sorkin's not. Okay, sorry, I was getting those confused.
Yeah, no,
the same
he's in
guy.
there. Yeah, your best director nominees.
Social Network guy, whichever, you know.
Yeah, no, your best director nominees are Thomas Vinterberg for another round
Is not up for Best Picture
in the best director category, but not best picture. So like, Sorkin got a DGA nomination, but not an Oscar nomination. But Sorkin's screenplay is nominated. And it'll probably maybe win. Maybe not though. No, because it's up against Emerald Fennell, who keeps winning for Promising Young Woman. She won last night at the Spirit Awards. She won at the Golden Globe. She won at the Writers Guild Awards. Anyway. Yeah, so we had Thomas Vinterberg, Fincher, Chloe Zhao, Emerald Fennell, and Lee Isaac Chung from Minari.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think if I like loved these movies more, I felt like I have more of a dog in the side. And I like almost all of them. I have a great deal of respect for almost all of them. I think Trial of Chicago 7 is pretty terrible. But I think there's a case to be made even for that one. There's a case to be made for all these movies. I've barely thought about the Oscars this year, and I've really enjoyed that, frankly. My favorite film of last year was Collective, and I'm thrilled that it got 2 nominations. I don't necessarily see it winning either of them, but if that and the fact that it was on Hulu meant that more people watched it, then hooray. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, you jumped ahead of it, but I do want to talk about the documentary category because I really hope that someday we can talk about My Octopus Teacher because I hate it so much, and it's so not deserving to be in this category in a year where there are so many great documentaries. Anyway,
that's what I do. It's gonna
win. It's gonna win.
If it wins, we should totally do it.
It's gonna win.
What's so terrible about it?
Okay, well, I want to save a lot of it for the review. It's very beautiful, but the guy at the center of it is a raging narcissistic stalker.
Oh, great. Does he stalk the octopus?
Yes, he's a stalktopus.
It was the original title. It didn't test well.
I like it. But anyway, we'll get to that. Yeah, so Collective is up for documentary and for international feature. And it will probably not win either of those, you're right. Because probably another round will win.
I think so.
Which would be great. I love another round.
Sure, yes. By all
right, we have skipped a lot. So let's go back to Best Actor. No, it's okay. Best Actor is Anthony Hopkins for The Father, Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal. He won last night at the Spirit Awards. Stephen Yeun for Minari, Chadwick Boseman posthumously for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and Gary Oldman for Mank. Who wins there?
I think Boseman. I think
Boseman.
Boseman for
that has been the reasoning.
Yeah. I mean, he won the Globe, right? Not that that's a
he did
indicator.
Right. I could see as a voter, like, oh, it's the one chance as a voter to really honor
exactly.
It's career.
It's a legacy kind of career capping off award. And I just rewatched Ma Rainey's for another podcast, and that is a performance with no shortage of Oscar clips. He gets a lot of big like monologue-y, moments, and so that is the kind of performance that the Academy tends to respond well to anyway, and it's a good performance. And yeah, I think there is a very big sort of sentimental value in now or never, you guys. So yeah. I would not be shocked if he wins.
It does. All that makes absolute sense. But the fact that Riz Ahmed won last night at the Spirit Awards makes me think that.
Well, those are two different, things. Also, I mean, was Boseman nominated for Spirit Awards?
Yes.
He was. Okay. There's two different voting blocks, and the thing about the Spirit Awards, and I mean, you could say the same for the Academy Awards, and it's certainly true, is that nobody watches all of the nominees. I mean, a very small fraction of the voting group, which in the case of the Spirit Awards is members of Film Independent, actually watch all 5 of the films that are up. So
what are you saying?
I know.
Are you
right?
saying people vote on movies they have not seen?
So it's pretty easy to pick generally how the spirits are going to go because it favors like the more popular films or the ones that maybe hit harder with like a filmmaking membership, which is what the Film Independent Group is, people who are involved in various modes of production. I think the people who pick the nominees do exhaustively watch everything. So you'll see these movies that maybe barely played outside of festivals or that had tiny distribution that you didn't see, but they'll find those nuggets and be like, hey, here's a performance you should know about, here's a director you should know about. But then when it gets passed off to the membership, I think a lot of folks are like, I never heard of that. I don't have time. Oh, this one, I like that one. I'll vote for that,
Anyway, I think just getting your name in there is hugely helpful to like first time filmmakers.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so we're all saying Chadwick Boseman. Okay. Best
Although they
actress.
are all totally worthy performances. I think in that particular category, everybody knocks it out of the park.
Anthony Hopkins is heartbreaking. He's tremendous.
Oh God, yes.
Best actress. Andra Day in The United States versus Billie Holiday. She won at the Golden Globes. Vanessa Kirby for Pieces of a Woman. Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman. She just won at the Spirit Awards. Viola Davis from Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. And Frances McDormand for Nomadland. This is one, except for Vanessa Kirby, this could go like in any direction, I think.
I have a hunch it's going to be Carey Mulligan because it's a provocative performance. People are talking about it. The film is obviously very provocative. And I think it is also one of those things, as we have seen over the course of the Academy history, there are certain films that do better than they might have otherwise because it's a way for the body to be like, this is where we stand politically. And I think in the era of Me Too, this is really the first film that's come along that they can be like, yes, we're against this.
I wonder if a little bit too on a similar, not politically, but I think we've seen in the past that the voting body, not consciously, right? But like, it's not like it's a plan, but people will say, okay, I'm voting for Nomadland for Best Picture and Best Director, but I really want to make sure that Promising Young Woman gets something. So I'm going to go with Best Actress here as the one that it gets, right? Because that's the one that
actress and screenplay, I think.
Yeah, and maybe that's for screenplay instead, right? But I think,
but it could be
happens.
Frances McDormand too, so who knows?
It could be, but she's got hers, and Viola Davis has got hers, and Carey Mulligan's never gotten hers, and this is the best work of Carey Mulligan's career, and it requires her to play these subtly nuanced different versions of the same character, which I think requires.
Don't dig into who actually deserves it.
I know. I'm arguing.
The tragedy.
I
mean, yes, absolutely. But also, it's in the title. She is young. She has other opportunities in the future. Whereas, like, no, I'm just saying. I think that's a thing sometimes. Where, like, sometimes yes, you want to give the person early in their career, but sometimes they just winds up being a thing later in their career. Also, like Viola Davis won for supporting. This would be her first shot at winning a lead.
I think if I was voting, I'd be voting for Andra Day.
Andra Day's terrific. I think she definitely they're going to look at that and think, well, it's an honor to be nominated. Is she the only nomination for that film also?
Yes.
So that's always a chance killer.
I think it'll be Carey Mulligan.
I do too.
Probably.
That is just me. Maybe we do the supporting categories?
Why not?
What do you think? All right.
Sure.
So supporting.
I support that idea.
Sure. Paul Raci for
Did
Sound
you have a Red Bull today? What is your deal?
Paul Raci for Sound of Metal. He won last night.
Mm-hmm.
Sacha Baron Cohen for The Trial of Chicago 7. Lakeith Stanfield for Judas and the Black Messiah. Daniel Kaluuya for Judas and the Black Messiah. And Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami. Daniel Kaluuya has won a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He won at the SAG Awards. I still think it's weird that you have Judas and the Black Messiah both in the supporting category. I would love to see Paul Raci win this. That'd be amazing. I suspect that Daniel Kaluuya will win, though.
I agree with you on both counts.
Okay. Matt?
Yeah, I agree.
Although I really actually like Lakeith better in Judas and the Black Messiah than I mean, I like them both. They're both tremendous performances.
Sure.
They're so different. I mean, Daniel Kaluuya is much showier, and Lakeith, I like Lakeith the same reason I like Carey Mulligan, which is like slight
Shades.
variations on the same character, and there's like an evolution and a conflict between those different versions of himself. So
True.
that's
Kaluuya,
tricky.
Fred Hampton is kind of the same at the end of the film as he is at the beginning. I mean, he's dead, but you know what I mean. Like,
It's like, wait a minute.
you know what I mean. But yeah, Sandfield's character is the one who goes through the
Am I
transformation.
the only one that thinks that Kaluuya showing up on SNL was part of the Oscar campaign for him?
Of course it was.
Probably. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Of course it was.
And he's enormously charismatic, and he's great, and always does interesting work. Okay, supporting actors, we've got Amanda Seyfried for Mank, Olivia Colman for The Father, Yunya Jung for Minari. She keeps winning. She won again last night at the Spirit Awards. Maria Bakalova for the Borat sequel, and Glenn Close as Mama in Hillbilly Elegy.
Yunya Jung for sure, but don't be surprised if Hillbilly Elegy gets makeup.
Because she does look a whole lot like Mama.
It's true.
This is going to be Glenn Close's 8th time walking away empty-handed.
I would love to see Balaklava get it though.
Maria Bakalova.
Bakalova. That would be. I'd love that. I would love to see that. That's amazing.
I mean, if she does, it would be the Marissa Tomei performance, because they'd be giving it to an accomplished actress that they don't know, giving a really memorable comedic turn. So it's not unprecedented, but I suspect it's unlikely. I think that for a lot of reasons, Yunya Jung is the sentimental favorite. You've been seeing like retrospectives, where they've been showing her older films. So like, she's a lifer in Korean cinema, and it's a very,
she's got the campaign.
It's a very feel good kind of performance in a film that hits in just the right way. So I think it's going to be her.
She's totally lovely and very deserving of this. So that'd be nice to see. Any other categories that you're feeling strongly about that you want to just jump in on?
Soul is going to beat Wolfwalkers, which it should not, but
It will. I kind of like Soul better than Wolfwalkers. And not just because it's Pixar.
I kind of don't. I mean, and Soul is fine. Soul has a lot going for it, but I think Wolfwalkers is just fucking amazing. And and again, I think that if everybody who voted in that category had to watch all the films, I think Wolfwalkers have a better shot. But somebody did a piece about how like they always give it to Pixar. That even in like if you take the years in which Pixar made any movie in the years that the best animated feature category has existed, they pretty much always get it, and so it's a knee-jerk thing, unfortunately, and I think that the studio and the guy behind Wolfwalkers, they've done some really amazing work, and people just kind of blow it off. That somebody posted a thing today where like some guy it was one of those anonymous voter interviews, and he was really mad the year that the Lego movie was made that didn't get nominated. He goes, instead they nominated a couple of fucking movies that nobody saw from China.
One of which was from Japan.
Well, yeah, Japan's The Tale of Princess Kaguya, and the Song of the Sea from Ireland. It's like this is what we're dealing with.
These are your Oscar voters.
Yes.
Let's do it real fast.
Scott Rudin, wasn't it?
We should, since we have been dancing around screenplay a little bit, should we just touch really fast on
Sure.
screenplay? So, original screenplay. Our nominees are Sound of Metal, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Judas and the Black Messiah, and The Trial of Chicago 7.
Promising Young Woman with the possibility of Chicago 7, just because people like Sorkin.
Yeah, I think I'd probably be voting for Promising Young Woman. I think that's going to pull through there.
I agree. She's been on such a roll. She's won like absolutely everything leading up to it. And then adapted screenplay, we have One Night in Miami, The Father, The White Tiger, Nomadland, and the Borat sequel, which is adapted from the original Borat.
Right, which was based on a character that he did on his TV show. I guess Nomadland, probably. I mean, look, I loved One Night in Miami and The White Tiger, but they got very little love otherwise in the nomination. I think White Tiger got nothing else, and One Night in Miami only had a handful, including Leslie Odom. So I don't think those have a good shot at it. Yeah, this is the category that honored ghost people. Let's not forget.
I think The Father could win this. Because its structure is so tricky, but not in a gimmicky way, in a way that is really impactful as far as like perspective and moving the story along, and it results in these incredible performances. And so I kind of think that writers will look at like the magic trick of that and be impressed by it. It's based on a play.
I would love if they could swing that. But I'm not gonna. I've long since like putting any eggs in the basket of Academy Award wins for movies I actually like. So,
Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I have no idea on this one.
Okay.
This one's really tough to call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, I think Nomadland will win cinematography, although Mank is very beautiful, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right. The Hillbilly Elegy could win makeup, Alonso.
What's it up against?
Pinocchio, the Roberto Benigni Pinocchio,
right.
Mank, Ma Rainey, and Emma.
Let's be clear, the second Benigni Pinocchio.
Indeed,
live action.
The one where he's Geppetto and not the title.
He's Geppetto this time. He's not the puppet this time. When is he going to play the whale? Right?
Right.
Third time around, he's the whale.
It's like you're Hamlet, then you're Macbeth, and then you're Lear.
Anyway, cool. Anything else you want to jump in on? Any predictions? There's no host again.
This show's going to be wacky. Steven Soderbergh is co-producing it. He's promising that it's going to be like a movie in terms of its like storytelling arcs or something.
Like they're going to trap them all in there and you have to get out.
Disaster movie. That'd be something. Yeah, I don't know. This is. I think it's going to be a weird show to cap off a weird year.
Where will you watch?
Well, it depends. If tomorrow I get shot number 2. So if I'm feeling well, I will be doing a live Twitch with my untitled Iffy Dre and Alonso project co-hosts on Iffy Waterway's Twitch channel, which I believe is twitch.com/ifds. But if I am not feeling well, I will be under a duvet sweating.
Okay. Matt?
A duvet.
I think it's duvet.
Fancy.
That's all right. I grew up saying foyer, not foyer, because that's what the rooms are called in the Midwest. I will be watching and updating Movie Phone and that sort of thing. I have to say, like, I'm usually kind of at the very least intrigued, if not actually excited to watch the show. And I just kind of don't care this year. And I think part of it is like not having been to the movies and just like all of the kind of surrounding, mishigas that goes with seeing movies and knowing that like, there's the kind of campaign parties and all that stuff that happens leading up to it. It all just, it's like, So I'll be watching it, but I like, yeah.
I think the only nominated movie I saw in the theater was Emma.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I am intrigued by Soderbergh saying that this is going to be a movie-like experience. Like, is it all going to be jump cuts and going back in time, and then like
handheld
after the Best Picture award gets given, we then jump back and see that, oh no, it actually goes to this other one, and here's what really happened in the heist. And and
then Luis Guzman shows up and explains the whole thing.
There you go. What about you,
that would be amazing.
I'll be on the couch. I have seen an Oscar-nominated movie in a theater, and that movie's called Tenet. For best visual effects. All right. So, I'll be on the couch. So I'll be tweeting. So I will share my wisdom there in snippets. But this was fun, you guys. Watch along. Let us know where you're going to be watching it. If you care, what you hope wins, all that good stuff.
Sure. So yeah, thanks for watching, you guys. Enjoy your Oscar weekend, and thank you for being here with us. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us at BeFastAllDay on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and hey, check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. We're wrapping up our coverage of Falcon and the Winter Soldier Season 1, and hey, speaking of the Academy Awards, we allowed our subscribers to select for our monthly off the menu feature a best picture winner that we hadn't seen. And so the three of us, for the first time, just watched Elia Kazan's Gentleman's Agreement, and we'll be reviewing it exclusively for our Patreon subscribers. So if you want to see that and all the other fun content we create, it's patreon.com/befastallday. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.